Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage Jewelry. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirits, my intuition, and tarot in order to communicate energies to you, the beautiful viewer. Today's reading will be a look at you and the person on your mind and the connection. We'll be taking a look at connecting energies, but we'll be looking at the divine feminine and divine masculine. Okay, and doesn't mean that you have to be with the opposite gender, just is a way for me to channel a little bit better, and you can attribute yourself to whichever side you're resonating with. We all have masculine and feminine traits, so whichever side you feel more represents you, just yeah, your person will be on the opposite side, just to keep things simple. And we'll look at how you guys are showing up and how you guys are feeling and thinking, and then we'll be taking a look at what's shifting for you guys individually, and then again, like I said, connecting energies. We'll also be taking a look at some dark and light attributes, okay, that you guys might be mirroring. So I do want to emphasize there is a trigger warning. Please read the disclaimer in my description box. I am only here to communicate the messages that Spirit is giving to me as best as I can articulate this, and my intention is always to help provide healing. If it is not resonating for you and you don't want to take the message, feel free to find another video, another pile, another reader. That is fine, as long as your heart and your intuition are on the same page, or at least you feel like there is something that is true or worth exploring, then I feel that message was for you. All right, so again, my intention is only to help heal, and this is a collective reading, so not everything will be 100%, but if you're resonating with the bulk of the messages on a scale, then that definitely means there is a message in that pile for you. Now, what you might want to do, just so you kind of get confirmation here from Spirit, is maybe pick in your mind a symbol, something, could be anything, could be a word, could be an object, could be an animal, could be a certain color, a shade, that will come through in this reading, that will be confirmation that this reading is indeed for you. Okay, and I think that might help you solidify reassurance from Spirit. But if you are okay with just your own intuition and you're not needing that extra confirmation, then you don't have to do that. But for those of you guys trying to develop your intuition, that might be a good place to start. All right, so we have 3 butterflies to choose from. Pile number 1 is this beautiful blue butterfly. All right, so that's pile 1. Timestamp will be in the description box and in the pinned comment below. We have the white butterfly for pile number 2. And then pile number 3, gorgeous pile 3, we have this green butterfly. All right, so feel free to pause the video and you'll intuitively be guided to one of these butterflies. So grab your tea, grab your water. This might be a lengthy reading, and I will see you guys at your pick. Hello, my gorgeous pile number 1. If you picked this blue butterfly, absolutely gorgeous, then this is your reading. Now, butterflies talk about transformation, as you guys probably are well aware. This butterfly in particular is mostly blue and green. So I am feeling that for those of you guys that chose this, there is heavy work being done around the throat chakra and heart chakras, okay, with you and your person specifically. And I feel like maybe this has been something that you've been challenged with in the past, or at least within this connection, that I feel like you are potentially working on very diligently. But I do sense there is a transformation happening, a growth in your throat chakra, in ways for you to express yourself maybe differently than you have in the past, and certainly allowing you to have that heart healing. And I feel like your person is certainly reflecting you. Okay, see the butterfly has two halves here, and both of these halves are identical or mirrored. I feel like your person is also experiencing the same types of transformations when it comes to their throat and heart chakras. Okay, now it might be different types of lessons, but I do feel like you guys are mirroring in that aspect and learning lessons that you guys need. Okay, now I am getting heavy from spirit that maybe one of you guys is learning how to change the way you communicate. Okay, and I feel like this might be more the divine feminine, because I feel like the divine feminine is most likely more of a profound type communicator, but is learning how to communicate more effectively and maybe be more aligned into what she's feeling in her heart and be able to express this in a more direct way, without fear of abandonment, without fear of rejection, and releasing some of her thoughts. Now, I do feel like on the divine masculine side, there is this recognition that truths from the heart have not always been easy, and I feel like the divine masculine is taking a look at healing. I do feel like the green on this side is much more prominent than the green on the left hand side, so I feel like there is heavy heart chakra shadow work that the divine masculine is working on in order to be able to communicate some of what he is wanting to express, maybe for the first time. Okay, so very interesting there. A lot from that butterfly. We'll be working with several decks today. Okay, and I got to remember to put the decks in the description box below if you're interested. But first we'll be looking at the divine feminine side here with this deck, and we'll be asking spirit for this clear and concise message, but in depth. Let's get in depth with these messages, with the reading for healing for pile number 1 in regards to this connection for the greatest and highest good for beautiful pile number 1. And thank you so much, pile number 1, for allowing me into your life, allowing me into your energy, and allowing me to do your reading today for you and your person. I am so blessed and so grateful. All right, so we'll be looking at how the divine feminine is showing up in this connection. Okay, again, this could be either your energy or your person's. Just take whatever is resonating, or none of it. If it's not resonating, don't be obligated. Okay, so how the divine feminine is showing up. We have the Six of Wands in reverse. We have the Six of Cups in reverse. And we have the Six of Pentacles, 666. Beautiful pile number 1. Oh my goodness. Are you guys seeing triple sixes? Wow. 6 is also the Lover's card in the tarot, which is very profound. Okay, we'll keep going and then we'll get into channeling. So this is how the divine feminine is feeling and thinking right now. We have Justice in reverse. We have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And we have the Page of Cups. Okay, that's the Prince of Cups. Sorry, I want to make sure that these are sitting nice and straight and aligned, because we have a lot of cards and they are quite slippy and slidey. All right. That's going to sit right there. Okay, so hopefully these get in frame. We're going to pull what is shifting for the divine feminine. What is shifting here, spirit, clear and concise and in depth for beautiful pile number 1. What is shifting? So we have the Two of Wands in reverse. We have the Chariots upright, and then we have the Moon in reverse. Okay, now I'm just going to check that we are in frame. Okay, barely, but we are. Maybe let me adjust for a little bit. All right. Okay, I think we're okay here. Let me just check. All right, that's about as good as it's gonna get. Sorry about that. Okay, so now let's take a look at the Divine Masculine. Okay, and we'll take a look at how the Divine Masculine has been showing up in this connection. Spirit, clear and concise and in-depth message for pile number 1's Divine Masculine. How has he been showing up in this connection? Again, I say he. We both have feminine and masculine energies. Does not have to be opposite gender from you. It's just easier for me to channel reading masculine and feminine energies. So just attribute whatever side to yourself and whichever side to your person here. All right. So Divine Masculine is showing up as we got the, let's move it right there, Ace of Cups in reverse, Ace of Pentacles upright, Seven of Wands in reverse. Okay, and how is the Divine Masculine feeling and thinking? We have the Eight of Cups. We have the Queen of Pentacles. And we also have the Two of Wands in reverse. Okay. The Divine Feminine has the Two of Wands in reverse as well in her what's shifting energy. So that is interesting here. Now let's see what is shifting here for the Divine Masculine. What energies are shifting? So we have Knight of Pentacles. And we have the Magician in reverse. And we have the Page of Cups. And now we'll take a look at connecting energies between the two. Spirit, clear and concise, in-depth message here for beautiful pile number 1. So we have the Ten of Cups, lovely. We have the Justice for the feelings and thoughts, and for the what's shifting energy, we have Temperance in reverse. Okay. So beautiful pile number 1. Let's get into your reading. So the Divine Feminine, I feel, has absolutely feels defeated. Okay, she feels defeated, and there's a heavy emphasis on balance in this connection. And I feel like there is a recognition from both the potential here with this Ten of Cups, which is absolute emotional fulfillment. I think this being the how you guys are showing up, I feel like there is a recognition right now that both of you guys have, that there is this emotional fulfillment you guys bring to one another that I don't feel you guys have experienced, or at least there is this recognition that this is your person. And I feel like both of you guys feel the same way here with this Ten of Cups being in the middle. Okay, this is the person you either intended on spending the rest of your life with, and your person feels as though you could potentially be the person that they could spend the rest of their life with. But we'll get into how you guys are showing up. Okay, so I feel like the Divine Feminine here with the Six of Wands feels like she is at a loss. And I think she feels at a loss here because the connection is feeling like it's imbalanced. Okay, and I feel like she has given a lot of herself here with this Six of Pentacles, but I feel like she's given so much emotion with the Six of Cups in reverse that she now feels exhausted. Okay, she feels exhausted. She feels like she's given all her emotional cups away, and now she is feeling defeated, and she's taken a blow to her ego. I feel like this Divine Feminine feels like I feel like she feels as though she was doing the right thing here, okay? With the Sixes talking about love, I feel like there is this true, deep love. And I feel like the Divine Feminine was embracing how she knows to love. So she was coming forward with deep emotions, giving of love, and putting everything kind of on the line here, okay? And what I feel happened is the divine masculine could have potentially been overwhelmed with the emotions or the depth of emotions that the divine feminine was outputting and not quite sure how to reflect it. Okay, so I feel like the divine masculine here with the Ace of Cups in reverse, I feel like there was this, especially in this card, is a woman who's almost completely naked, submersed in emotions. This is being reversed. I feel like your person was feeling like if they were to open up, they would feel vulnerable or exposed in some sort of way in this connection, in a way that would make them feel out of their element. Okay, but I do feel here with this Ace of Pentacles, there was a heavy emphasis, because again, this is how they're showing up. There's this heavy emphasis on the potential of this connection being something more. But I feel like when it comes to emotions, the divine masculine has kind of closed the door, or at least the door is not fully open here in showing any sign of emotions. And if they have, it is quickly shut down because of this sense of vulnerability. Okay, now I do feel like the divine masculine is dropping his defensiveness here. And I feel like his defenses are dropping most likely because he senses the divine feminine is now given up. Okay, she's put down her wands. She feels defeated. She's no longer pouring all her emotions. She's looking at where this connection has been out of balance with two of the sixes in reverse, and the Six of Pentacles talking about reciprocity and the give and take. And I feel like the divine masculine recognizes there has been an imbalance, and he is coming to the understanding that he has to show up. Okay, but his showing up is here with this Ace of Pentacles. So I feel like your person, if you are resonating with the divine feminine, wants to offer a seed of hope for the future, wants to open the door to the possibilities of this connection and drop their defensive attitude or fighting against this connection as they potentially have been in the past. However, I do see, again, the emotions being still closed off here, and both parties recognizing this, there being a 10 of Cups. All right, so now thoughts and feelings here. The divine feminine is really her how she's showing up in the connection is definitely reflective in her feelings. I feel like she feels a sense of injustice and imbalance in this connection, and where she was once putting in a lot of her energy and effort, she is now saying, what is the point? Okay, but she is wanting to find love here with this Page of Cups. She is open to finding love. She recognizes she wants love, and she wants a balanced give and take of love, and is willing to explore what this looks like outside of this connection if that were to present balance in her life. So she is exploring the idea of leaving this connection as it is, because it's not providing her any sense of justice here, or anything that she has planted, anything that she has invested, it is not proven to grow anything. Okay, and both parties here with the connecting energy want a sense of balance and justice in this connection, or at least for themselves. Okay, and I feel like this divine feminine is finding an injustice in maintaining this connection, or at least maintaining the way it has been going. So she feels a need to go explore where she can find love. She wants love. She wants a balanced love, a give and take, and she hasn't been receiving it from this divine masculine. Now, the divine masculine has been triggered in with this Eight of Cups in going in search of his emotions. Okay, so something that he potentially has not yet. Now this butterfly is coming true with the heart work. I feel like this divine masculine has not been able to go towards looking at his emotions to become honest with what it is that he is wanting to allow himself to fully feel. And I feel like this has been triggered by a sense of, and maybe this divine feminine has been communicating, because again, we were seeing this throat chakra, her need to be loved, her need for balance. And so the divine masculine has been pushed to take a look at his emotions. All right. And I feel like he sees the divine feminine here as this Queen of Pentacles, which is heavy earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, coming through. Absolutely beautiful and caring and giving. And this is the mother archetype, single mom, or the wife card. It is definitely showing the level of stability that the divine masculine feels, a safety, a sense of balance he feels with this divine feminine energy. All right. So he is looking to walk away from what he has embraced in the past in order to look at his emotions, and maybe even look at what he might have feared at one time, in order to get clear with what it is that he's feeling. And I see that he's holding this cage here and the door is open. So he is going with an understanding here that the divine feminine may potentially be already gone, or maybe already on her way to finding her happiness. So he is kind of being pushed into, pushed. He's certainly being called to by spirit and is guided to go and take a look at his emotions that I feel he's been fearful of doing in the past here. Okay. Now the Two of Wands here in reverse is, well, Two of Wands can talk about having two options, right? So I feel like the option now has almost been removed from him to maintain status quo in this connection. He feels like he has to make a decision. He has to choose to take a look at these emotions, or has risk losing this Queen of Pentacles. He feels like if he doesn't do this, this Queen of Pentacles is no longer going to be a part of one of those options, okay? And he'll only be left with what he was left with before this divine feminine. All right, so what is shifting in this connection? We have, for the divine feminine, we have the Two of Wands in reverse, we have the Chariot, and then we have the Moon in reverse. Now, the Two of Wands, like I explained here, is having two options. With it removed, it could certainly be somebody who has already made a decision. I feel like this divine feminine has made a decision to move forward into the unknown, okay? Despite not knowing what is going on over here, I think she's surrendered to the fact that there is a lot that she may not ever understand, but she is becoming clear as to her needing to move forward, and that she no longer wants to have an imbalance in this connection, and she no longer wants to put in energy and effort into getting the same results here with this connection. So she has decided here with this Two of Wands, you can see this kind of a warrior looking like person staring at this big wall of flames. And I feel like the divine feminine, it says dominion here, could definitely feel like she was coming in here, showing up in this connection fairly defeated, okay, with this Six of Wands in reverse. I feel like she can see this wall of flames that's been keeping her out, and she is no longer wanting to risk getting burnt, no longer wanting to cross that wall, no longer wanting to move forward. She's accepted a decision that might have been made for her with the way the divine masculine was showing up here, to press forward and move forward in her journey, okay? Despite there being a lot of unknowns with the moon here, and even I think she's over the part of fearing loss of the divine masculine here. I feel like she's coming out of a state that her well-being and her health, her mental health, her emotional health, her physical health is what she kind of wants to balance out for herself. The Chariot does talk about balance, okay? And I feel like this Chariot is expressing her need for her to find the light and dark attributes within herself in order for her to understand maybe where she herself was showing up in a way that was maybe hindering or not helping a situation. Okay, I feel like she has definitely overgave in a situation here that left her feeling empty and drained. And I feel like she recognizes that she no longer has that to put forward and has to be open and willing to accept the fact that she needs to press forward with what it is that she has, despite whatever's going on here with this divine masculine. Okay, now she feels like she cannot contribute anything with the status quo, how things are, maintaining what it was that she was able to put in this connection. So this Temperance card is in reverse. Okay, now this is connecting energy. So let's take a look at the divine masculine here. Now, the divine masculine senses this divine feminine is now charioting away towards her own healing, her own repair, her own curiosity towards what love could mean for her, what does justice mean for her, and he wants his own sense of justice as well, okay? And he's understanding that he's going to have to take a look at his emotions and be real before he can invest in this connection in any way, because this divine feminine isn't going to put up with anything other than him showing up and being open with emotions in order to contribute to this connection. Now, I do see this magician energy here in reverse, and magician in reverse to me is kind of a manipulative type energy, okay? So this could mean, now take this lightly, I don't mean your person is a full-on narcissist, but the narcissist tendencies here could very well be the narcissist empath type dynamic we have, where the tendency here is to manipulate the situation and not fully allow the divine feminine to go, but not commit either. So she stays in this perpetual cycle and offer this cup of just a tiny little taste of love here with the Ace of Cups that he wasn't able to show up with. Okay, so now pages talk about, novice energy, the beginning of, I feel like this is a taste, okay? This is like a demi-task, like a tiny little taste of his emotions to express with the page. This is communication as a form of manipulation. Now, I don't think he's doing this to harm the divine feminine. I feel there's a deep understanding that there is this Ten of Pentacles to be had. I don't sense that either party wants to let go of this Ten of Cups, but I do feel like the justice here for the divine feminine is looking a lot different in this state, and she's making changes to accept what that looks like and is no longer willing to continue the cycle here, whereas the divine masculine is now beginning to go inwards with this Eight of Cups to take a look at his emotions. In order for him to get to this Ten of Cups, he's needing to at least be in this Eight of Cups energy to reflect on his emotions of fear and how he's truly feeling, but he needs to act right away. And this Knight of Pentacles is very slow, but it is a knight that's offering something, okay? And I feel like the offering here is a taste of emotions in order to have the divine feminine stay in this situation whilst he goes and explores a little bit more about how he's feeling, because he certainly feels like his options will be removed from this connection, from moving with this connection. So I feel like, yeah, he's dropped his defenses. He wants to go take a look at emotions, but in the interim, how does he keep the divine feminine from moving off and potentially finding someone else, or potentially losing interest in a situation here? Okay, now you are showing up as this Queen of Pentacles, and here for divine masculine energy, I do see a page and I see a knight. So certainly I'm feeling like this divine masculine might feel as though he can't quite measure up to the level of this queen, or is not at the state which he is able to offer what it is that the divine feminine is potentially needing. But I do see that his world is certainly revolving around this divine feminine, whether he's showing it or not. It is certainly what is the center of his world, okay? And he is willing to go to the extent of a form of manipulation. And what I mean by this is that, you know, him extending this page of cups, or this cup as a page, probably would have not have happened had the divine feminine not pulled away her energy, and as an offering to pull her back into a cycle, because then potentially maybe he won't have to go explore his feelings as deeply as he is now being called to do. Now, I'm not saying that he's doing this actively when he manipulates, but when we, let's say if we're going on a diet per se, right? And we say, I'm no longer having French fries and gravy, or here in Canada, the poutine, or whatever it is we're trying to cut out. And then the next day comes and we fill our face with the poutine. Now, it doesn't mean we don't love ourselves and that we weren't being honest. Okay, we were being honest. We wanted to get in the diet, but in the subconscious, there was a part of us that needed to be addressed, needed to be healed, needed to be looked at in order for us to understand why it was that we're making the decision to have the French fries or the poutine or the whatever it is, right? Or else we'll continue down that cycle. So I feel like instead of taking a look at why these emotions were closed off and a deep look at, you know, where there is fear, it is much easier to manipulate a situation, extend a cup of love here that potentially hasn't been offered in a while to the divine feminine. Okay, so this is giving a taste of emotions, cracking the door open slightly to have her kind of return, or have her in his vicinity so he can avoid, you know, having to do the diet or having to do the hard work here that he is needing to do. Okay, but I do feel like neither of them are able to bring in balance, because both of them are working on their own healing. And I feel like the divine feminine is working on her self-healing and is more empowered in driving away from the unhealthy cycles in this connection. And I feel like by default, the divine masculine is also unable to provide anything to this connection until he does his healing, which is taking a look at, you know, removing himself from areas that weren't providing him a true look at how he is absolutely feeling inside his heart space, and identifying where they've been honest in this situation. Okay, so let's take a look at some archetype cards and see light and shadow attributes of how you guys are kind of showing up here in this connection. Now keep in mind there is a lot of mirroring going on. Okay, this is more like a twin flame type reading. So I mean, if you don't believe in the twin flame title or label, you can certainly resonate with a karmic or a soulmate or just an individual here that you're learning about yourself in healing. Okay, because this is certainly about healing connections and how others are helping you do your soul work. Okay, so for the divine feminine, we got goddess coming through in the light attribute. Okay, and we'll go through all these once I pull them all. We have addict coming through in the shadow attribute. And remember, you and your person are certainly mirroring, so we'll get a look at how that is so. And then we have the divine, or sorry, the child divine coming through in the light attribute for the divine feminine. Okay, and then for the divine masculine, we have God. Look at that. God and goddess, you guys, absolutely beautiful, coming through as the light attribute. Don Juan coming through in the light attribute. And Virgin coming through in the light attribute. Okay. So what do we have? So for the divine feminine with this goddess light attribute, it says the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. I feel like definitely this divine feminine is coming into her empress energy. Okay, she is learning how to love herself. She is being able to express to herself what it is to be loved, and recognize what it is like to not be given the type of love that allows for her to feel balance and allows for her to be abundant and fulfilled. Okay, and now in the shadow attribute here, she got the addict. sorry, let's go into how this is reflected with your person. Now, I mean, God and Goddess can certainly be mirrored here, but I feel like your person is being called to go through and look at giving themselves the love that they have been trying to get from this divine feminine in a roundabout way. Okay, so now instead of this shifting energy here where potentially this person is showing up in a manipulative way to try to pull this divine feminine back in, if this does not work, now this divine masculine is going to be called in order to take a look at their own love of self, their own way to provide themselves the love that this divine feminine was offering at some point, that this divine masculine is absolutely in need of. Okay, because I feel like this divine feminine was giving all of her cups here, okay, and she was consistently showering this divine masculine with her emotions and love, and this divine masculine became addicted to having that without allowing himself to go through what it's like to give himself love. Okay, so that's how this is reflected here. Now, this addict with the shadow attribute compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. This is talking about her just finishing this cycle of overgiving, getting pulled in, overgiving. Now this cycle is coming to an end, but what's shifting here is we have the divine masculine stepping up in order to repeat a cycle. Okay, so this is caution from spirit in saying, is the divine feminine going to re-enter into this confusion of cycle and stay in this perpetual, cycle? Or is she going to use her willpower here with the Chariot and break free from what she's experienced here in order to find her Page of Cups? Okay, or I guess be a Page of Cups and be curious about finding what love is out there for her. Okay, because she could very well get frustrated, calm down, and cycle back in with this divine masculine, and and have kind of more of an easy route. If she's looking for this cup and he's easily available here with this Page of Cups, she easily can fall into this shadow attribute, okay, which is having that addictive pattern that she's going to have to break. All right, and the pattern here is the divine masculine holding back, potentially being defensive, and not giving what he is his fair share of bringing justice to this connection, and withholding emotions until the divine feminine pulls away, and then getting into the cycle where he feels he needs to offer something. And in this case, it is looking at, sharing a little bit of emotions in order to get her to kind of come back in. Okay, so child divine light attributes, innocence, purity, and redemption suggest a special connection with the divine. I feel like, yes, the divine feminine is certainly looking at her spirituality at this time, okay? And I feel like she's asked herself, she's asked spirit, how do I, because she sensed defeat here. How do I overcome this feeling? I really sense like she has had enough. She's hit her wall. She is no longer wanting to get burned, and she is releasing to the universe in how it is that she can move forward. And I do feel here with this prince is talking about the page, okay, is also like this child energy where she's now genuinely putting her hands up to the universe and saying, help me to find, the right way to deal with this situation, because I keep coming up against these flames and I'm completely out of any more effort and emotions that I can put into the situation. I want to find my 10 of Cups and my balance here, okay? So I do feel like there is this strong connection to the divine that the divine feminine is leaning into, okay, at this time. Spirituality, maybe it's a spiritual practice, maybe she's getting into meditation or more tarot, or spiritual routines. Okay, so she's exploring all this in order to bring some balance into her life. Now we have the divine masculine, and he knows that there is this love that he is desiring for, that the divine feminine was giving to him, but he is being called to look and surrender to spirit as to where is he going to find this love of self. Okay, so he is also being called to trust spirit and the divine, to do the work, to go take that walk into the unknown and crack that door open in order to take a look at what needs to be healed. Okay, so we have God attribute here, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. Definitely this this calling, this feeling is coming heavy and strong for the divine masculine to do the work. He can no longer be in a state of unhappiness. Okay, he can no longer shy away from his emotions. The only way he can get out of this is if he manipulates the situation and pulls back into the cycle. Otherwise, he is being called to take a look at himself, and that he is really the only one that has the ability to fix the situation. Okay, so now we have the Don Juan here, spotlights your positive seduction qualities. Now, certainly, you know, this is kind of maybe the go-to. Maybe your person is a little bit of a player energy here. The go-to is, how do I woo over this divine feminine? Do I show her love? How do I seduce her back into, you know, into this? Now, this isn't the light attributes. So I feel like your person genuinely, like, again, like the poutine I was talking about, or the diet, right? I think they genuinely want to go on the diet. They really want to be able to have this love, and this unconscious piece of them just automatically reacts to a situation where they're feeling like they may lose their divine feminine. So this seductive quality, or this positive seductive trait, just comes out, and they might feel as though they are now a little bit more open, less defensive, can maybe express themselves a little bit more clearly than they have in the past. Okay, but it is stemming from a place of them feeling potentially at a loss, or could be at a loss of this divine feminine leaving his life for good. Now we have Virgin here, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Yeah, I feel like both of you guys are coming to this situation in a, I feel like this is a different state. Although there are cycles continuing, I feel like this is a different state where I feel like there is this purity of heart and spirit, because I feel like this divine feminine is completely exhausted, okay, of being able to express or shower the divine masculine with any more emotions. So she is being reborn again in this virgin type energy of heart and spirit, because she's surrendered to the divine. And this divine masculine is being called to, now without this energy, he is kind of left there having to explore. Okay, this is virgin energy for him to explore, where do I find my heart and spirit? Well, how do I give this to myself, because my divine feminine is no longer around? And now they're left with this need to have to figure it out. Okay, so there's this like purity of heart and spirit that both the divine feminine and masculine are kind of needing to explore. That's pushing them outside of their regular cycles, and pushing this connection to kind of level up, if you would. Okay, so let's take a look at the animal spirits, see if we can get some more, and then we'll get some guidance. Spirit for beautiful divine feminine, can we get spirit animal oracle card for the divine feminine? We have the spider, and can we please get a spirit animal card for the divine masculine? Oh, we have the vulture. Okay, so here with the spider, it's interesting because the spider is a very industrious creature. Okay, so finds a way to make it through. I feel like this divine feminine is trying to find a way. Now, if you look at this web, it's completely distorted. Okay, I feel like she's trying to build on herself. I feel like she's been through a lot. She has this distorted way of trying to put herself back together with the way she knows how in order to survive, because I feel like she is at wit's end, but she is continuously building and dedicated to building her security back up, no matter how distorted or not pretty it looks. She is dedicated to doing that because she knows this is needed for her survival here. Okay, so she is wanting to build her sense of security, build her safety, and even if it's alone, she knows she is able to stay dedicated to building this on her own. And she's not too concerned about, what this might appear like to others, as long as she feels safe and she feels secure. And I feel like this spider is definitely something that she's learning to adapt here. And I feel like this vulture energy certainly was the bulk of potentially the connection, where this divine masculine would sense, at the slight of blood, come in and try to take from the divine feminine what he could. Okay, now you can't really take without the other person being willing, because a connection is 50-50. So there is responsibility here on the divine feminine for recognizing a distorted way in which she was overgiving to this connection, which also comes from a place of needing to be healed and recognition. Whereas this divine masculine falling back into this cycle where he senses blood in the water, he senses she's about to leave and build her web and her stability, but he doesn't want her to go. Okay, so but yet he won't set her free either. So he wants her in this state of perpetual cycles with him, as he refuses to do the inner work here. Okay, so he could certainly be the cause of why she feels so drained right now with her Six of Cups in reverse and this Six of Wands in reverse. But she is recognizing that he can't take from her unless she's willing to give. Okay, so I feel like this vulture energy is definitely a reflective or a reactive way that the divine masculine is kind of sitting and waiting in order to perpetuate another cycle here. Okay, so the advice here from Spirit is the divine feminine recognizing where she does have power, where she could navigate herself through a situation and get out of a state of uncertainty and unclarity and build her own security. Okay, and it may not look pretty, but it would begin with her addressing and recognizing where she's been unhealthy, where she's been giving to this connection, and also coming from a place of needing healing as equal as the divine masculine, because it's easy to say, why didn't this person just show up? Why didn't this person just give equally? Why didn't this person just commit themselves? Why are they closed off? Well, the reason this person is closed off is because this is how they maladapted to their healing, whereas you potentially maladapted to your healing as an overgiver. And now these could be caused by traumas that we've had in past situations, relationships as children, okay, where we've had to maybe overgive in order to receive love or feel love. We had to be in a state, and potentially the divine masculine felt like he was taught to hold back emotions in order to keep control of a situation, to keep himself fed in a way and control a situation. He'd have to be cold. He would have to only give the bare minimum. And, maybe these are tendencies and reactive ways that you guys are kind of dealing with your own traumas. Okay. But I feel like there's definitely mirroring going on here, and the fact that we have God and Goddess on either side is pretty interesting here, because I feel like there is great potential here. Okay, and I do feel like both of these could certainly be a marriage card, and marriage does not necessarily have to be in the legal term, although Justice does talk about legal. I feel like for me, these cards represent a long-term emotional coming together for a very long period of time of building a family and and sharing in one another's future. Okay, Six of Cups also could be the soulmates or the twin flame card as well. So there's lots of there's lots of cards here that are giving me heavy twin flame soulmates, long-term possibilities here between these two individuals, although they are both healing on different levels here, okay? And I feel like the divine feminine is maybe being pushed into breaking the cycle in order for the divine masculine to take a look and peel back what has been kind of distorted up until now, okay? Because I don't feel like he is wanting to, because it just doesn't, again, it's subconscious. He's probably not even aware of it, okay? So we do have more earth energy showing up here, the divine feminine, which is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And then we have heavy air coming out here for the divine masculine, which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And I feel like with this divine masculine being represented by air, you know, talking about truths and this blue for throat chakra, I feel like this divine masculine hasn't been able to express exactly vocally what it is that they are thinking or feeling for quite some time in this connection. And I feel like their way of expressing is repeating a cycle in which the divine feminine feels as though she can read through his actions, but he's being called on by spirits to allow himself to vocalize and express what is going on in his heart space. Okay. And even here with this Page of Cups, I mean, a Page of Cups is an offering or a curiosity of flirting, light heart energies, but it's still not a sword. So if it was a Page of Swords, it could very well be somebody open to communicating. But I feel like this divine masculine wants to manipulate and show a flirtation, show a little bit of emotions here, but still unable to communicate clearly what it is that he's thinking and communicate what he's feeling. So he's going to show emotion, okay? But, I mean, pages do talk about communication, but I feel like communicating a flirt, communicating an interest, rather than maybe opening up to, you know, why it is that he's feeling the way he is or how he's been feeling. All right, so we have balance. Yeah, definitely a need for balance here in this connection. I mean, the Justice card in the middle being the connecting card here, the Temperance being the connecting card here. I feel like both of you guys are certainly in a period that is off balance. Okay, this is all these sixes here talk about balance, but we've got two of them that are flipped upside down. The divine feminine can no longer maintain an unbalanced situation because she is burnt out. Okay, and now the connection is going to have to find balance in order for it to sustain itself. All right, it can no longer be imbalanced. She can no longer maintain this position, and they're going to have to work on finding that balance. So we have sorrow here, okay, and I feel like it's with heavy sadness that I feel like this divine feminine is being pulled away in this situation because she understands this potential here. But she just cannot go through the flames of the walls that the divine masculine have put up. Although he is dropping his Seven of Wands, which is his defenses, she knows, because she's been through the cycle, that the minute she starts to open up, there's these flames and there is this imbalance that takes over. So she's feeling very sad. She's almost feeling like her only choice here is to go it alone and build this distorted web, and her heart is breaking here, okay, with the sorrow. We have golden memories. All right, this is giving me that heavy Six of Cups here. I feel like this looks like a flurry of firestorm, okay, and I feel like you guys potentially feel like this connection has been nothing but a firestorm of emotions, of passion, of desire. But look in the center of the card is the sun, and the sun is such a beautiful energy. It is certainty, enjoyment, contentment, light, source. I feel like despite all of this chaos that's been going around, there is the heart of this connection, which is this Ten of Cups, this absolute enjoyment of each other's company at the core of all of this other stuff that's going around. Okay, so all this unhealthy stuff, all this trauma, all this fighting. I feel like the golden memories here is why it's so difficult to walk away, is because there is this knowing that you guys have experienced each other on a very soulful, beautiful, intense level where it was pure. Okay, might have been pure for a bit, might have had glimmers of purity and joy and contentment, followed by, you know, a rainstorm of fire and yeah, and just really crazy intense energies. But I feel like there are these golden memories that are keeping you guys together, that are whispers of what this 10 of Cups could potentially be. And I feel like both parties are very aware of that. Now, I do feel here with this Balance card, it's giving me heavy a feeling of future energies, and I feel like the Divine Masculine is going to be called to walk this 8 of Cups. Okay, and I feel like he is very intent on looking within, and I feel like the Divine Feminine is constantly there with him in order for him to find his own balance before potentially coming back into this connection. Okay, but I do feel like he is focused, and I feel like he is wanting to face this challenge and uncover what these emotions look like. And I do feel like she is definitely there behind him and on his mind, and an inspiration as to him wanting to move forward with what this may look like. Okay, but neither of them want to be in this shitstorm. This is certainly what the Divine Feminine was feeling here with all of this, right? She's not wanting to go through all these flames. She feels completely defeated here. Okay, she feels burnt out. She feels burnt by the situation. She's invested. She's got nothing except for, you know, maybe a distorted way of building herself back up. She just feels like she's going to give up here with this 7 of Pentacles. Like nothing came of what it was she was trying to accomplish, and a sense of injustice here. Okay, so this is what I have here for you guys. Beautiful pile number 1. I hope this helped. And if you like this reading, please leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't. And I love you guys so much. Take care. Happy healing. See ya. Hello, my beautiful pile number 2. If you pick this white butterfly, and then pile number 2, this is your reading. I am so excited to be here today. We'll be taking a look at the person on your mind, you and them. We'll be looking at how you guys are showing up in this connection. Not ready yet, Spirit, but we do have the 8 of Swords. So we'll be taking a look at how you guys are both showing up, how you guys are feeling and thinking, and then shifting energies, connecting energies between the two of you guys, and light and dark attributes as far as what is being mirrored in this connection between the two of you guys, and then some guidance from Spirit here. Now we've got the 7 of Swords. Wow, swords are really coming out. So let's ask Spirit for a clear and concise message, but an in-depth message here for beautiful pile number 2. Now pile number 2, I did issue a trigger warning here because my intention is to be very truthful with the messages I'm getting from Spirit in regards to healing on both sides. Okay, Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, and I will be reading as Divine Masculine and Feminine, although you don't have to be with the opposite gender. Can certainly be someone is resonating more with the Divine Feminine energies, and just makes it easier for me to channel. So just pick whichever side you're more resonating with, and your person will be on the opposite side. Okay, and you never have to take any of my readings. If it doesn't resonate or doesn't feel right, then definitely go pick out another pile, another video, another reader. That is certainly a-okay. Okay, so, and don't feel obligated to watch this if you are feeling low on energy. This is always intended to heal. So if there's anything here that you take away that helps heal, then I am okay with that. All right, so Spirit, clear and concise here for beautiful pile number 2. Can we get the Divine Feminine energy and how she is showing up in this connection right now? Thank you so much. Clear and concise for beautiful pile number 2. All right, so we have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Three of Swords in reverse. And we have the King of Wands. All right, in reverse. Can we get how she is thinking and feeling right now? So we have the Eight of Wands. And we got the Ten of Swords in reverse. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, and then what is shifting for the Divine Feminine? Oh, we have the Magician. We have the Lovers in reverse. And we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay. So let's take a look at the Divine Masculine energy here. Spirit, clear and concise and in-depth message here for beautiful pile number 2. And pile number 2, thank you so much for allowing me to tap into your energy, you and your person. I'm so blessed, so grateful. Thank you very much. All right. So how is the Divine Masculine showing up in this connection? We have the Five of Swords in reverse. We have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Hangman. All right, and his thoughts and feelings currently in the connection. What are his thoughts and feelings? So we have the Four of Swords. We have the Ten of Pentacles. And we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, and then finally, what is shifting for the Divine Masculine in this connection? What is shifting? We have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Swords. Interesting, both you guys have the Ten of Swords. And we have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, and connecting energies between the two. Spirit, clear and concise for beautiful pile number 2, connecting energies. So how you guys are showing up, we got the Ten of Cups. Now it is in reverse, but I'm not sure if that's how it fell, but we'll catch any blocks here. Interesting, because that's exactly what came up for beautiful pile number 1. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune coming up in reverse for connecting energies in regards to feelings. And then we have the Four of Swords kind of coming in sideways here, but we will read it like that. I'm just going to make sure this is all in frame. Perfect. All right. So what do we have here for beautiful pile number 2? So I feel like the Divine Feminine has been in this situation for quite some time in this connection, okay? But I feel like she is kind of given up on chasing the Divine Masculine. And I feel like she is really being dedicated to her own heart healing here with this Three of Swords in reverse. This is somebody who has suffered heartbreak, separation. Potentially she's been separated here from the Divine Masculine. She's no longer wanting to maybe go after this connection. She's probably not even interested in going after any connection. I feel she's very dedicated to healing her own heart, repairing her own heart here, okay? And I feel like the Divine Masculine, yeah, it could certainly be a period of no contact here. I feel like the Divine Masculine is looking at where there were challenges in this connection And this could have very well stemmed from their inability to devote and dedicate their own time and energy and effort into this connection, which caused a lot of conflict. And they're in this state of contemplation, or at least taking a look at it from another perspective. I think they're in the perspective of maybe what this divine feminine may have been trying to convey to this divine masculine at one time, where he's now taking a look saying, well, gee, I could have maybe shown more interest. I could have maybe put in a little bit more effort. I was kind of acting in a way that I wasn't really paying attention or devoting any time or effort. This caused this big conflict. This is why the divine feminine is now no longer interested. And I feel like something did happen here to cause this heartache. Okay, now it could be one incident that happened, a betrayal of sorts, or something that caused the separation. Okay, where I feel the divine feminine is still trying to heal from, but it could just be a series of this divine masculine not showing up, okay, and causing there to be conflict. All right, so I do feel, though, with this Knight of Pentacles kind of looking back, like there's still some looking back, and I can't help but feel like she is looking back at the actions, I feel, and maybe there is a little bit of, I'm feeling like resentment or anger in some of this as to why it was that this divine masculine maybe showed up in this type of way that's caused her heartbreak. Okay, I don't feel like she's looking back at him per se, but if she's looking back at an incident involving him, she is still energetically connected to him, because she won't let go of, and she's still looking back on it. And I feel like what Spirit is saying is, in order for her to really heal and work on this heart healing, she's going to have to, and again, you don't have to do anything, but what Spirit is suggesting is that if there was injustices, or if your person wasn't showing up, okay, it wasn't that they were doing this to you, it was more of you being kind of led to control your own sense of self-worth and your own ability to draw boundaries and your own ability to see something for what it's worth and let it go. Okay, now I know it might be difficult because I don't know what they did, and could very well be that you, and most likely you, didn't do anything to deserve what it was that this divine masculine did. But what Spirit is saying is, as long as you're held in resentment or looking back on a situation that's energetically tied to this divine masculine, you are now feeding into this negative type energy that's keeping you in that state of this Three of Swords. Okay, although it is here in reverse, it's still here and it's still present. Okay, and it's not allowing you to move forward towards what you want. And I feel like this King of Wands energy is so powerful. Like the divine feminine, I feel you're coming in as this King of Wands, who is somebody who is absolutely driven, career focused, dedicated, and I feel like potentially you're so confident and strong and very attractive and used to having your own way that I feel like this situation potentially caused you to have an ego blow of sorts, okay, and a very profound heart pain, because I don't feel as though you're used to or have experienced this, okay, especially from someone here who just wasn't potentially showing up, wasn't paying attention, wasn't putting in the effort, and again, could have very well have done something that you definitely did not deserve. But I feel like this was more of a series of them just not showing up that caused you this heartache. But I feel like there is this resentment that's keeping this negative energy here, and keeping this person kind of at an arm's length here, but they are reflecting on this situation, okay? And I feel like the Ten of Cups here in the middle being reversed, I feel like both parties feel like they, at the state that they're in or how things happen, they could no longer realize this Ten of Cups together, because in this state, this divine masculine is saying, well, gee, I can't attain a Ten of Cups when I can't even you know, put in the energy or the time or dedication, and I fucked everything up here, okay? And this divine feminine is saying, well, I don't want a 10 of cups with you. You caused me all sorts of aggravation. You didn't even care. You didn't even put in energy. And you showed me how, you know, what it was that I was worth. It's caused me nothing but heartache and heartbreak here. So I'm in this state of hanging on to, you know, this energy, resentment or bitterness, or trying to heal myself from something that I didn't want happen. Okay, so now we have thoughts and feelings. Now we see the 8 of Wands, the 10 of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. So the 10 of Swords in reverse is pretty profound. I feel like this emphasizes the inability for this divine feminine to let go. I feel like there's an ending that certainly needs to happen here in this connection, in which she is unable to let go of. She probably is unable to let go of the actions of this divine masculine. It's causing her pain, okay? But she's just hanging on to this pain, okay? Rather than allowing this to be set free in order for her to, you know, start over here with this Ace of Pentacles. This is a new beginning and moving towards potential for the future, to bring into her future what she wants. She's burdened by this 10 of Swords, a need to put something behind her, a need to put an ending to something. And this is like one of the scariest 10s of Swords I've ever seen. Like, she's coming down with this sword on this guy's head. So I feel like you're right revved up and very angry here, if you are the divine feminine, in how this divine masculine has potentially treated you, or made you feel based on how they weren't showing up, or maybe them acting in such a way that betrayed your trust. Okay, now I do feel here this 8 of Wands does talk about, you know, speed and momentum. I feel like this divine feminine is wanting to move forward, okay? Because I feel like she's potentially been stuck in this state of 3 of Swords, having to let go of an ending here, wanting this new beginning, and she wants to break free and move forward, okay? She wants to move forward with herself, but she almost feels like she is stuck in this energy, okay? Because we do see this Wheel of Fortune. It is in reverse, so it's almost like, you know, instead of things kind of turning for the better and energy flowing in a good, healthy direction, she kind of feels like she is stuck in having to release, still having to heal, still not understanding why she was treated the way she was, you know, maybe even potentially wanting to have the communication in order to have the closure that she needs, but it's not coming, or at least an understanding here of what had happened. Okay, and I feel like this divine masculine, how he's feeling is, he sees where there was complete imbalance, okay, in this situation, and he's completely pulled away in this 4 of Swords, and he feels like he is needing to reflect on, you know, why there was imbalance in this situation, why he was unable to show up, why maybe he did show up in a confrontational way, or why this caused such a big confrontation, as big as it did. Because I feel for some of you guys, the biggest challenge here with the divine masculine was he was not showing up or investing his energy or his time, and this caused a huge conflict for this divine feminine, who is very much ego-based type divine feminine, who's not used to maybe a divine masculine treating her in this way, or people in general. Okay, so he's perplexed as to why is it that she is so overly hurt by something that I probably shouldn't have done here. Okay, now just take that if it resonates here. I'm just calling it like I see the energy. Okay, because I do feel here with this 10 of Pentacles, I feel like there is still this 10 of Pentacles talks about, you know, being very solid and building a legacy and a foundation that is very sturdy, that outlasts the test of time between two individuals, like family units. And I feel like your person feels that there is this inner core, or something that you guys were able to build on together here, that is unshakable. Okay, so I think they're probably perplexed in why is it that the results here were so dramatic when he feels as though this Ten of Pentacles is much more sturdy and stable than any sort of energies that have come up recently, okay? And I feel like there's a heavy emphasis too on potentially turning and shifting his energy into building self-wealth and stability here. And maybe where he could have been putting in energy and effort in this connection, he might have been shifting it towards building his own future stability here. But I do feel like this was for family. So if you are resonating as a family dynamic here, then I feel like the Divine Masculine was certainly having the Divine Feminine in mind here when he was focused on work, and maybe he wasn't giving her as much attention. Not that that made it right, but I do sense here that he thought he was doing the best thing for the family unit, the best thing to build stability, and now he's in heavy contemplation and almost like, like I don't even know what happened here. I just know that I could have done a lot better here when it came to investing in this connection and giving. And I feel like it's more like paying attention, putting in energy and effort and time. Okay. And yeah, and if they did do something here that was very hurtful, then I feel like there needs to be more understanding as to what that impact was, because I feel like they still don't quite understand why this energy is happening here with the Divine Feminine. Okay, now let's look at what's shifting here. So we have the Magician card coming out for the Divine Feminine, but then we have two cards here in reverse, and it's interesting, the Wheel of Fortune coming out twice here. I feel like the Divine Feminine is really being called to look at her own actions and what it is she's willing to let go of in order to heal. Okay, but I feel like the Wheel of Fortune talks about potentially, cycles, and with this in reverse, she might be perpetuating the same negative energies around her because she is in a lot of pain, and maybe she does need closure about a situation here. Okay, that does need to kind of come to an end, and I feel like she's wanting to manifest some sort of closure, some sort of ending. She's wanting to manifest something here that she feels she needs in order to move forward. But I feel like what she doesn't fully understand is what she thinks she needs is only perpetuating this state of Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Because the more she's seeking out closures or understanding, she's now coming in with an energy of hanging on to something that was not right, hanging on to something that didn't feel right, and coming in with this type of an energy, or at least sitting there with this type of an energy with the Magician. But all this is doing is stirring up energies in a way that's not helping the connection move forward here. Okay, so I feel like what's shifting here for the Divine Masculine, this Seven of Pentacles talks about putting in energy and effort, and I feel like this energy would certainly be something that this reverse Eight of Pentacles energy has perpetuated here, or at least inspired. The Divine Masculine is now like, okay, where can I start putting in my energy and effort here, but I don't know where to begin. Is it even worth it? Am I just going to fail? I have nothing to even work with. She's angry. She's probably not even wanting to work with me. I don't even know how I'm going to invest here, but in order for me to get to this Eight of Pentacles the way I was supposed to show up, I'm going to have to start with the Seven of Pentacles. So I feel like there's an openness here, a shifting into wanting to understand how to put in energy. But I feel like here with this Ten of Swords, this could be twofold here. I feel like Ten of Swords could certainly mean this person, this Divine Masculine, is coming into the realization that there is an end here, okay? Because we have the Lovers in reverse, which talks about an ending of a partnership. And it could very well be that this Divine Feminine is is expressing her need to pull away or to come to an end of this connection, and him saying, okay, well, I'm going to have to accept the end of this situation. How do I pick up the pieces here? And how do I move forward with myself with this Page of Pentacles in order to keep on, building my stability, the stability of what it is that I had? And this could also represent, with the Ten of Swords, their ability to look at a situation in which they weren't showing up and putting in energy, being in their head about this because they've given it a lot of contemplation. Okay, with all these swords, how am I going to put an end to it? How am I going to put an end to feeling like failure, that I have nothing to invest here, in order for me to even just move forward with this Page of Pentacles, which is the first step of a seed? Okay, let's never mind the Seven of Pentacles. This is already way in the future. They're going to have to plant a seed and start over with this Page of Pentacles. And yeah, so a page comes after the 10. So I feel like they need to put something to an end in order to start with a seed of planting something for the future. But I feel like this is heavy emphasis on pentacles, okay? Especially highlighted with this 10 of Pentacles. So this Divine Masculine is very much for wealth, abundance, security, family, stability. And I feel like that is kind of the main focus. And that could have very well been the imbalance here that we were seeing. Whereas I feel like this Divine Feminine is wanting to put an end to this partnership, okay? But I feel like what she's wanting to put an end to here is really being driven by her thinking in a mindset of pain, or her coming to this conclusion based on how it was that this situation has made her feel. But she's wanting to have a breakthrough. She's wanting something different. She's wanting to have a new beginning. She's wanting things to turn for the better, but it seems like things keep just turning for the worse, and it's most likely because of the energy that she's kind of stuck in here, okay? Now, the shared energies here for what's shifting for the both of you guys is this Four of Swords. So I do feel like, this person, the Divine Masculine, is feeling very Four of Swords currently. And I feel like what's shifting is that there is an inability for this person to do anything if the Divine Feminine isn't willing to do something different. Okay, this Divine Masculine feels like he's at the mercy of this Divine Feminine. And she feels like she is calling in an ending. She wants to put an end to something here. She's trying very hard to heal herself. So there's a period of no contact, maybe a period of reflection, separation, trying to get clarity about a situation here that clearly has left both parties feeling distraught. Okay, now I do feel like the Divine Feminine does kind of feel empowered again, but I feel like the empowerment that she is gaining is maybe revving herself up in an area where, she was feeling, a reverse King of Wands. She was feeling like she was trying to repair her heart here. She's kind of hanging on. And then I feel like she feels empowered, but I feel like her empowerment is now around coming in with a type of energy that doesn't really help this situation, rather than maybe taking a little bit more of a reflective stance in her own accountability and responsibility in some of this. Okay, now I don't know what happened because I don't see cards here, but and maybe she didn't do really anything to deserve this or this, but maybe she wasn't communicating all that clearly about, when he wasn't showing up, that it did bother her, or when he wasn't putting in the energy or effort and she was dedicated and focused on other things. Maybe it all kind of caught up. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing here, but the universe is emphasizing on this Divine Feminine taking a look at maybe some accountability on herself, removing the Divine Masculine in order to do some heavy reflection and healing, rather than coming in maybe with this energy of, I feel like, well, the Magician's great when it comes to manifesting, but I feel like the manifestations here are negative energies because she is in a negative energetic state. So the results are coming in reverse here, right? So maybe she wants to manifest happiness and a new beginning, but, and certainly, the Divine Masculine is going to shift into this new beginning here with this Page of Pentacles. It's exactly what she's feeling she wants, but she starts to manifest this negative energy here with the Lovers in reverse. And I mean, nothing's really negative, but the Lovers in reverse is an ending to a connection, an ending to a love, give and take. The Wheel of Fortune is, you know, things that could potentially go for the better, kind of going for the worst here. So I feel like she is needing to maybe take a look at her inner dialogue, what it is she's trying to manifest here. Okay, and I feel like this divine masculine is more reactionary to whatever she's giving him. You know, he's trying to make do with what he has here, whatever he can work with, which leaves both parties in this period of healing. Now let's take a look at the archetype cards for light and dark attributes. Okay, now be heavily mirrored between you and your person. Now this could very well be a twin flame type connection, which is just calling your person to heal and you to heal. If you don't believe in the twin flame label, could certainly be just soulmates, karmic partners, but certainly healing connection through an experience with another that allows you to really take a look at yourself and allows the other person to heal as well. So we got Child Eternal for the Divine Feminine in the light attribute. We got the Hermit in the light attribute. And for the Divine Feminine, we have the Knight in the shadow attribute. Okay, so what do we have here for the Divine Masculine? And keep in mind, these are most likely mirrored between you and your person. We have the Slave in the shadow attribute. We have the Rebel in the shadow attribute. And we have the Samaritan in the light attribute. All right, interesting. Let's take a look at what this means. So we have Child Eternal with the light attribute, determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. So I do feel like with this King of Wands, there is this desire for the Divine Feminine to see things from a new perspective. Unfortunately, I feel like she wants to see things from a place of where she's experienced something that was very painful, and she's still coming in, hanging on to how it's made her feel in order for her to take the next step, in her life. And unfortunately, I feel like, yes, we do learn from our lessons, but I feel here, whatever has caused this heartache or heartbreak that she's trying to repair, she's still bringing this in as kind of a backpack that she's carrying into her next phase, and it's not allowing her to have the proper closure, proper healing, and it's causing a very heavy, weighed down ability, and I feel like it doesn't really allow her to see things really with a fresh set of eyes, because although she really wants to, I feel like she is seeing this from kind of a distorted perspective of pain and an experience that she's had here with this Divine Masculine that's left her feeling very pained. Okay, and through the eyes of this Divine Masculine, how it could be reflected here is, I feel like he is definitely trying to gain a new perspective and get enlightened as to maybe what happened. I feel like this Divine Masculine might still be a little clued out as to what exactly happened. Okay, that's how I'm feeling. Like he's a little bit clued out as to what happened, but I feel like he's wanting to come in with a new perspective, which is why he's taking some time off here to take a look. Now, Hermit does talk about that, taking that time off, talks about this break here. Light attribute seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life, serves personal creativity. I feel like this Divine Feminine is definitely going inwards. Okay, she's trying to heal her heart here. She's trying to understand a situation in which she's having a hard time letting go of, where I feel like the Divine Masculine is definitely going inwards and trying to gain a better perspective about what he did, how he can change things slightly in order to maybe show up in a way that he hasn't in the past. Now, for the Divine Feminine and the Knight shadow attribute, it has allegiance to destructive ruler or principle, romantic delusions. I feel like this is talking about her hanging on to what it was that broke the situation, gave her heart pain, made her feel like a blow to her ego. Something here that she is hanging on to, that she is needing to put to rest or take accountability for what it is that she could do for herself in order to get over anything that anyone else has caused for her, rather than, hanging on to it and then wanting to seek understanding from outside validation. She is being called to go inside and take a look at what she can do in order to overcome this without the involvement of the divine masculine, without the involvement of anyone else. She's just needing to sit with herself to figure this out, okay, in order for her to have this, this romantic love and offering that she so deserves. All right, now with the divine masculine, I got 2 shadow attributes here with slave. We have giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. I feel that heavily with this divine masculine. I feel like there is some fear here in this coming to an end, but I feel like there's this heavy focus on this stability, almost at the expense of the connection. Okay, maybe this person was really heavily dedicated on work, not paying attention to the situation, and now all the feelings have kind of almost been removed from the situation, and I feel like they're giving away their choices to another state of out of fear of maybe loss of stability. And then I feel like they're in the state of, okay, what is it that I can do to keep you here? So it's like they're trying to do whatever it takes to please everyone else and situations, rather than going and really taking a look at what's going to make this person happy. And if it is there a sense of stability here, at the risk of a connection in a relationship, well, then they're going to have to understand that, that's a choice that they made. Okay. And we do have this giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own decisions. I do feel like that with that feminine, again, looking for external validation or closure. Why did you cause this heartache for me? Why are you making me feel, like I have less self-confidence, or I'm unable to break free from this pain? It's like, okay, well, this person cannot cause you to do anything. You're going to need to take a look at what you're able to do, what you're able to control, and not be a slave to other people and how they might make you feel or try to make you feel. Okay, so we have rebel here with the shadow attribute, rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels out of pure pressure or fashion. This is kind of very similar to this slave, I feel, okay? Rejects legitimate authority out of anger. I feel like this person could have potentially, the more maybe this divine feminine was recognizing where this divine masculine was not showing up, I feel like maybe he poured more into work or more into areas that weren't committing an emotional type food for this connection. Okay, I feel like there was a shift in rebelling in this connection on both parties here. And I feel like this divine feminine has just said, okay, you know what? He's had an opportunity here. And now she is like hell-bent on not letting go of the fact that he screwed up, or he chose maybe something that wasn't this connection, and it has left her in this sort of a state. So I feel like both are kind of rebelling this connection, and I feel like the divine masculine might have been the trigger, but I feel like this divine feminine is certainly rebelling any sort of healing that she's able to do on her own in order for this connection to kind of flow again. So I have Samaritan here with the light attribute, refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. I feel like your person is trying to find a balance here. But I feel like this is talking about helping themselves, because I really feel like your person is a people pleaser of sorts. And I feel like they've neglected this connection, and they showed up in a way that wasn't representative of how they felt, because they might have felt like they had to do something here that was more out of fear. Maybe they felt like they had to build a stability for family, especially if you guys have a family. Maybe they're thinking about the kids, they're thinking about the future, retirement, and they weren't thinking about the connection and how that would leave you. And if you don't have that, maybe they were trying to build themselves up so they could have more to offer. But I feel like there is this need to help self, and in both cases here where the divine feminine is needing to help herself in order to heal from some of this pain that she's been hanging on to that might have been caused by this divine masculine, but certainly in order to heal it, it's not going to get healed from the divine masculine. It's going to be her needing to really work on herself, acknowledge where she can let go of pain and step into her King of Wands energy so she can get back into, you know, going after what it is that she wants for herself with confidence and with drive here. All right, so let's take a look at these animal spirit cards. For the divine feminine, we have the elk, and the divine masculine, we have the dragonfly. All right, so wow, this is very heavy for divine feminine. This is a very powerful energy I feel here. This elk is earth energy. I get very heavy King of Pentacles type energy from this. So you could resonate with Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, or you could certainly resonate with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius here for the divine feminine. There's also some Gemini coming through here real heavy, but I feel like this is talking about stability that I feel is the core, the center here of the divine masculine. I feel like this divine masculine potentially sees this divine feminine as his stability, you know, because she is very solid, and she could potentially feel right now like she is off course, but I feel like there's a certain stability here about her and her ability to press forward. But I feel like she is really needing to understand where her own stability drives from within, and where it is that she might be depending on the divine masculine for this sense of stability. Okay, because I feel like she's trying to figure this all out, but I feel like there is this very strong driving leadership type quality coming from this divine feminine that maybe she hasn't fully leaned on. I think she's aware of it, but maybe she hasn't really fully leaned on it. But I do feel like the divine masculine does see this divine feminine as, you know, a very solid, almost like he sees her as his wealth, as his future, as his potential here. Okay, now this divine masculine coming up with air energy, which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I feel like this energy is like we were seeing here with the Samaritan and the Rebel in reverse. I feel like this is more of an energy that's willing to cooperate, but I don't feel like this energy is somebody who is very solid. I feel like this energy is somebody who is a little flaky, but I feel like this person is a little bit not sure, not confident, a little lost, a little bit of a people pleaser, a little bit of wanting to do the right thing, not knowing what they want for themselves, and kind of getting lost in actions and transactions rather than being driven and determined around what it is that they need, what it is that they want, how it is that they're going to show up, what it is that they want for themselves. And I feel like there's a sense of needing that. The divine feminine needs this. Okay, and I feel like the divine masculine is not quite sure how to find it, not quite sure how to give it. He's still trying to find out what it is that she is needing from him. Okay, he thinks it's a task, maybe something that he's able to do, but it's more of what she needs him to be. Okay, so yeah, I feel like there's quite a divide here with you guys in personalities. Okay, I feel driven, solid, very reliable, very passionate, and very much direct. And yeah, and I feel here's kind of more wafting, more task orientated, and maybe more, yeah, just I feel more people pleasing type energy here. Okay, so unfortunately people pleasing, but I don't think this pleases the divine feminine. So just take what resonates here, you guys. We'll get guidance from spirits before we wrap up. So spirit, can we get clear and concise message here for beautiful pile number 3, or sorry, pile number 2. So we have the Goddess. Wow, that's a beautiful card. Let's keep pulling some more. Goddess. We got meditation. Wow, look at the colors in that card. And we got the Trilogy of Light. Wow. Okay. So the Goddess. Yeah, I feel like definitely Goddess energy coming from this divine feminine. And I feel like what is being emphasized here is that The divine masculine sees you as an absolute goddess. I feel like the divine masculine sees you as their wealth, their foundation, what they're building upon. Okay, I feel like they're building upon you, and maybe they need to find their own sense of independence. Definitely through meditation, I feel like maybe the divine feminine is able to release some of this resentment or something she's hanging on to here, that the divine masculine has showed up in a way that she is not, that she's still hanging on to, okay? And through meditation, I feel this divine masculine is able to find himself, the truth of what it is that he wants for himself, not necessarily what he's getting pushed towards, okay? And not to rely so much on this divine feminine as the goddess, and more of what it is that he's going to need for himself. Now, this is giving me hope here with this trilogy of light, because I feel like both parties are able to, if when they are in their light attributes, if this divine feminine can heal and forgive, okay, find a way to forgive what's happened, not necessarily forgive this divine masculine unless she feels she has to. I feel like there could be a release here that allows there to be a flow of energy throughout this connection. Whereas this divine masculine, I feel like once he identifies himself as more of this God type energy, and more like he's the 10 of Pentacles here, he's able to be solid. There is this ability to work together to build unity, okay? Two energies coming together to build a third energy, which is the absolute brightest light here, okay? So I feel like there is potential here for there to be cooperation and a unity that causes synergy between the two of you guys, but both of you guys have to be in your light attributes and be wanting to experience in the joy of each other's lights, because I feel like there's strengths for sure that this divine feminine has that I feel this divine masculine is not strong in, and I feel like this divine masculine is strong in areas that potentially this divine feminine was drawn to in the first place, okay? But I am having a sense here that there is a period of separation. There could be a period of realization that this person isn't quite the fit for this divine feminine, and she's learning to let go, and she's manifesting that. This is kind of the heavy thrust I'm getting in this connection, and I feel like this person here is, does he want to make it work? Yes, but I feel like there's just such a shift in energies that I don't know that this person has it in them. Okay, now I mean, anyone could be anything that they want, so certainly does he have it in him? Yes, but in this state of how I'm seeing energies, this person is really needing to stand in their power, understand who they are, be very solid, and turn more into this King of Wands type energy, or even a King of Swords, or even a king, okay? Because I don't really feel like this person or an emperor. I feel like this person is kind of just doing whatever it is, and maybe they're trying to find themselves, okay? I feel like this person knows who they are, but there is a need to heal from a situation here that was clearly not healthy, okay? And yeah, this is what I see here for beautiful pile number 2. I hope this helped. Just take the messages that resonate. If this did not help, just leave it behind. Don't take the message, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile number 3. If you pick the green butterfly, then this will be your reading. Now, the green butterfly is all about heart chakra. So, because green is heart chakra color, okay? And the fact that we have a butterfly, we are talking about transformation. So I feel like there is heavy transformation around heart energies when it comes to this connection. And I feel like a very intense focus on heart, okay? So it could be that both the divine masculine and divine feminine are working on their heart right now, and taking a look at how they feel in this connection. Now, we will be taking a look at the person on your mind and you, and the energies in which you guys are showing up in this connection, how you guys are feeling and thinking currently, and then what's shifting in the connection. And then we'll take a look at connecting energies. Not ready yet, spirits. And then we'll take a look at light and dark attributes that you guys might be sharing in this connection, or mirroring, I should say. and some advice from Spirit, but this will be a lengthy reading, so go get some water, some tea, and just take whatever resonates here, because this is a collective reading for a larger group of people, so not everything will resonate 100%. All right, and if you're not in the mood to hear these messages, then certainly there could be another reading or another reader on YouTube that is more for you at this time. But I do intend on communicating what it is that I see, including healing on both sides for Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. Okay. Now I say feminine and masculine, but you could certainly not be in a, be with an opposite gender here, but we all have masculine, feminine traits. So just pick whatever side you're resonating with, and your person will be on the opposite side. But I will be referencing Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, as it makes it much easier for me to channel this. Okay, so Spirit, clear and concise for beautiful pile number 1. We want an in-depth reading here for beautiful pile number 1. And thank you so much, pile number 1, for allowing me to tap into your beautiful energy, you and your person. I'm so blessed, so grateful. All right, so now we'll be taking a look at the Divine Feminine and how she is showing up in this connection. How is the Divine Feminine showing up in this connection, Spirit? How is she showing up? So we have the Empress in reverse. We have the Ten of Swords in reverse. And we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. Just going to push that up. All right, so how is she thinking or feeling right now in this connection? How is the Divine Feminine thinking or feeling right now? We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Eight of Cups upright. And we have the Five of Swords. All right, so what is shifting? We have the Queen of Swords. We have the Four of Wands. And we have the High Priestess. Okay, powerful energy here. Wow. Now let's take a look at the Divine Masculine. And we'll ask Spirit for clear and concise for beautiful pile number 3 is Divine Masculine. How is he showing up? What energy is the Divine Masculine showing up in? We have the Hermit. We have the Two of Cups. And we have the Fool in reverse. All right. So how is he feeling and thinking right now? How is he feeling and thinking right now? We have the King of Cups. We have the Page of Pentacles in upright. And we have, 2 cards wanting to come out. We have the Death in reverse and the Four of Wands. Okay, so we'll read it like that. Spirit, is that how? Okay. And we will take a look at what is shifting here for the Divine Masculine. What energy is shifting into? We have the Ten of Cups in reverse. We have the Lovers in reverse. And we have the Eight of Wands upright. Okay. And now for connecting energies between the two, clear and concise spirits for beautiful pile number 3. There's the connecting energies for how they're showing up. We have the Four of Swords in reverse. Okay. Connecting energies for how they're feeling. We have the Nine of Cups. Interesting. And what is shifting between the two? We have the Ten of Wands. Okay. Wow. This is quite the energy here. Let me just make sure we're all in frame. Okay. Perfect. So, what do we have here? Beautiful pile number 3. The Divine Feminine. I feel like the Divine Feminine is definitely in a distorted state right now with this Empress in reverse. So she is potentially withholding love, okay? And she is potentially blocking her own self from fulfillment by the way she is showing up in this connection. Now, the Ten of Swords talks about an ending, a painful ending, something needing to come to an end, and the fact that it's reversed, there's a need for there to be recognition and somewhere that something that needs to come to an end. And I feel like it could potentially be the way that, now this might be difficult to hear, okay, if you are the divine feminine, so we'll just take whatever resonates here, but my intent is always to provide healing, okay? But I feel like there's a way that this divine feminine shows up that might withhold love and then cause the divine masculine to try to get a shift in the divine masculine here by her showing up in an energy that tries to get the attention of the divine masculine, where all this is doing is not allowing her to have the full love and abundance that she absolutely needs to have. If it's not coming from this divine masculine, then she is needing to and being called to find this love around herself, from her own self, from inside her heart, from, you know, trying to find her own happiness outside of this connection here, which I don't feel has been giving her the type of love that she needs, okay? So I feel like this Empress in reverse is a blocked love. It sometimes can even talk about needing to heal childhood traumas with mother, okay? So maybe there's some mother traumas here, but there is this blocked energy, and I feel like there's a need to put something here to an end that could be very painful, and maybe she is in the process of understanding where she is unhealthy and where she might need to let go of this connection, and she's having a very difficult time letting go. So she's withdrawing her love, but she is having a hard time completely letting go. Now, I do see here her guards being down with this Seven of Wands in reverse. This is someone that is, you know, potentially letting down their guards, and maybe right now she feels like she doesn't want to fight, okay? She doesn't want to fight. She is potentially just in a state where she's withholding love. She's trying to come to terms with what needs to end and shift in this connection. And she's also not defensive. Okay, so potentially what I'm getting is this is a period of no contact for a while. So she's not as angry as she was maybe initially when this no contact happened, or when you guys kind of may have had a heated debate or something that caused this no contact, or this feeling that she has where she's not getting the love that she needs. I feel like she's no longer defensive, okay? And I feel like the divine masculine here, he wants a give and take here, okay? But he is, he's also not defensive, because he's also able to extend a cup of love here. He is in this hermit energy, okay? I feel like both parties are potentially in a period of separation here, because with the hermit and this Four of Swords, I feel like it's been long enough for the divine masculine to look within as to what it is that he could potentially offer in this connection as a give and take, okay? I feel like the energy here is on the upswing. So if you have been a period of no contact, either you guys just started talking, okay, or starting to come out of this state where you've done enough reflecting, okay? But I feel like reflecting is one thing, but I feel like this divine feminine still has some work to do that I don't think she's fully aware of. And I feel like this divine masculine, again, I feel mirroring here, he's looking at, okay, how can we do this give and take with these Two of Cups? But he's also not willing to take this leap of faith or the risk that he needs to in order to have this Two of Cups, okay? So is he ready? He thinks he's ready, but I feel like he's not ready to take this risk. And is she ready? Well, she's not defensive, so he senses she's ready, but she's still withholding love, and she's still trying to come to terms with an ending of something here, okay? So I feel like both parties are wanting to come together. Both parties have taken time apart, but I feel like more healing potentially needs to happen, or else we might potentially see the same cycle occur again. Okay, so this is like current energies. Now for feelings here, we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, we have the Eight of Cups, and we have the Five of Swords. So I do feel like this heavy energy here with this Divine Feminine is, she almost is like on pause. So her defenses are down, but I feel like the minute this Divine Masculine comes in, I think she's ready to attack. Okay, and maybe she doesn't think she is, but energetically attack the situation so she can get closure on a situation. So she's holding back this love. Her defenses are down, but she wants to be understood, okay? She wants to explain herself here, but at the expense of energetically maybe making this Divine Masculine shy away from this connection if she comes in with this Five of Swords. And I feel like she feels Five of Swords here because she does feel defeated, okay? Now, I'm not saying that she's going to go do something that is intentionally hurtful, but she's hurting, okay? She's really hurting here and needs closure. So she might be ready energetically to fly off the handle at any time. Okay, so she's being called to here with this Eight of Cups to walk away from any situation where she feels like she's emotionally not satisfied in order to find healing within. Okay, because I feel like in order for her to move forward with this Page of Pentacles, which is the first stage of planting a seed, a prospect for future potential here, it is blocked. She really needs to do this inner work, okay, in herself and take a look at maybe why is there a love blocked here. Okay, maybe she feels like this Divine Masculine isn't giving it to her, but she shouldn't be dependent on or expecting from another to give her this divine love. Okay, she needs to embrace her own love from herself. And if there was an ending here, she's needing to come to terms with, you know, what she can do to help heal herself and give herself the love, not be, you know, on this sort of energetic pause that the moment this Divine Masculine opens up, she's ready to express exactly how she was feeling, how she was thinking, why she's withholding love. And energetically, this is causing a no-win situation because the Divine Masculine will get defensive. He'll feel like it's potentially, you know, something that he's not wanting to engage himself with or face, and whether it is his fault or not. And she might feel better temporarily, but then she's back in this cycle of non-healing, not feeling love because he's pushed away. And it's not like he's going to press in forward even more to show her love. He's going to pull away and not want to engage with someone who's in their Five of Swords, energetically speaking. Okay, so there's heavy emphasis on walking away, trying to find something that emotionally brings in this love despite feeling pain and in a challenging situation here. Okay, so I feel like both parties want this Nine of Cups, which is what they want. She wants to express herself, be understood, how this made her feel, why she's withholding love. She wants to give love. She wants to explain this and have her Nine of Cups because she wants her true happiness. What he wants is his true happiness. And I feel here he's coming up as as this King of Cups. Now I'm going to drink some water so I don't get all froggy. Okay, so this is loving energy, this King of Cups. He emotionally knows what's going on here. Okay, he knows how he feels about her in this situation. He might have not have always explained it. He might have not always showed it. Okay, and it's interesting. This Page of Pentacles is reversed. This Page of Pentacles is upright. He wants to plant a seed in having the communication to start working towards this Nine of Cups. I feel what the issue maybe is that both of them are looking at a Nine of Cups from each other. And a Nine of Cups, I feel like, is something we do on our own, okay? So in order for this Divine Feminine to find her Nine of Cups, she needs to find her own love, her own source of trauma, maybe childhood traumas from mother wounds or anywhere where she feels like she's not getting love, to find it from within herself in order to feel emotionally satisfied and absolutely happy with herself, despite any connection or this connection. Same with this Divine Masculine. He's feeling a sense of emotions here, but he's wanting this Nine of Cups from his Divine Feminine. He wants to offer her, okay, with this Page of Pentacles, a seed for what this might look like in the future. But if she's in her Five of Swords, he's going to be withholding this Page of Pentacles because she's already has her Page of Pentacles upside down. She's not willing to plant the seed here if he doesn't come correct. She's going to withhold this. She's not going to give her offering and her love until he does what she feels he's supposed to do in order for her to then want to, you know, extend her love and plant that seed. But she's holding this back, and he's coming in unassumingly, ready to give with this Page of Pentacles. Maybe not communicate, but he certainly does love her. Okay, but I feel like he's needing to take a look at what his own Nine of Cups here could be with himself, as far as, okay, he feels deep love here, but where's the sense of stability here with this Four of Wands? This talks about coming together to build stability, union, coming together, celebrations. And I feel like this Death card in reverse is telling me that potentially this person has is in a state of maybe not wanting to take that leap of faith, not allow something to change in order for there to be a coming together. Okay, so although he might want to come forward with this Page of Pentacles, she might think, well, what does that mean? Does that mean, you know, you're wanting to build on a Four of Wands? And he may say, well, but I love you, and I have this Pentacle to give you. But I mean, he's trying to find his happiness, which he feels is, you know, being protected here and not completely in this Four of Wands energy, which is pushing him to potentially come with a more balanced offering here that he may or may not be prepared to transform into yet, because the Death in reverse is him not willing to let go and make a change in order to change something in the situation here. Okay, so that's what he's feeling. And now for what's shifting, we have this Mother of Swords. Okay, and the Mother of Swords in reverse is my bitch card. If you guys have followed my channel, you know, not to poo-poo on the Mother of Swords, or the Queen of Swords I should say, but in reverse, this is someone who is very cold. And I feel like she is in this Divine Feminine is in the shifting energy, because like I said, she's on pause and she's ready to go. If he don't come correct, she's going to be like, and this, and this, and that, and this, and why, and that, and he's just going to pull the plug, be off to his own thing. She's ready to be in this energy, and Spirit is saying, you know, it might feel justified, and maybe is justified in allowing yourself to release, but Spirit's really calling this Divine Feminine to go within and see where she can fill her own love, you know, and see where maybe she is hurt from something that's happened in this connection. But I feel like she's really upset because she wants this Four of Wands, which is unity. She wants to come together. She wants to build that stability. There's something here he's not willing to let go of with this Death card in reverse to offer this unity and this stability. He's maybe, you know, she knows he might have feelings. Maybe he's willing to give her a Pentacle, you know, but as far as this stability goes, there's something here he's not letting go of. And she is in her High Priestess. She knows that there's something more here in this connection. She knows that she's deserving of this Four of Wands, right? This is why she's very angry. It's like, well, I deserve it, and you love me, so I don't understand what the problem is here, okay? So this is her energy here, and this is causing an overload of energy coming towards with this oppression. I feel like the Divine Masculine is going to feel very burdened and heavied by her coming in with this energy, that any sort of intentions that he has to work towards this Four of Wands, if any, I mean, we don't see cards here, just there's something here he's unwilling to let go of. There is a Ten of Cups in reverse that he is not able to appreciate with her. Okay, this is full emotional fulfillment, blocked, and an end to a connection here with the Lovers in reverse, not wanting to give and take, not making the choice to have emotional fulfillment, and potentially, you know, breaking free of this connection temporarily, maybe repeat a cycle here. Eight of Wands talks about a breakthrough movement, and I feel like, yeah, there's definitely some coming out of a state of non-movement, but I feel like what's coming up is there being a shift away from this connection energetically from the Divine Masculine. Once he senses this energetic shotgun towards him, it's going to cause this overwhelming feeling, and she feels overwhelmed as well with this Ten of Wands. Okay, so I feel like there is a need for both parties to examine. I feel like the Divine Masculine needing to know what is he hanging on to here that needs to be transformed, that's tired, that needs to be put to bed, that needs to be changed. okay, in order for him to embrace a Four of Wands, which is really allowing this connection to work together. And instead of a Nine of Cups, both parties can experience a Ten of Cups. But I feel like it's a Nine of Cups because he's more focused on himself and he's not willing to let go of this. Okay, so it's more of a self-focus, what's making him happy. And the Divine Feminine is more focused on self with this Nine of Cups as well, because she says he needs to give me the happiness. Okay, I'm going to be upset here with him unless he's able to give me this. And it's like, well, no, you know, you're able to find your own love and you do deserve this Four of Wands. But if it's not him and he's not willing to do the work here, then you're not going to fix anything by causing oppression in the situation, you know, and working yourself up. You're going to be better suited in going inwards, walking away from something that's not emotionally fulfilling and taking a look at yourself in where it is you could find your own love, where it is that you can find your own Nine of Cups so that you are able to enter into a Ten of Cups, Four of Wands type situation. Okay, so I know that might be difficult to hear, but I feel like that's the energy I'm predominantly feeling. Okay, so now let's take a look at these archetype cards. Now, you and your person might certainly be mirroring each other. So we'll take a look at light and shadow attributes for each Divine Feminine and Masculine to give some more insights. Okay, so this one wanted to pop out. So we have the Child Eternal with the shadow attribute coming out for the Divine Feminine. We have the Goddess coming out. I think this came out in pile 1. Beautiful. In the light attribute. Absolutely beautiful. Yes, definitely a very powerful Divine Feminine energy here. Saboteur in the light attribute. Okay, so now for the Divine Masculine. Yeah, I feel very heavy twin flame type connection here with the Four of Wands, with the Lover's card showing up. Okay, so we have the Alchemist in the shadow attribute for the Divine Masculine. We have the Teacher in the light attribute. And we have the Hermit in the light attribute. Okay, so let's start with the Divine Feminine. So the Child Eternal in the shadow attribute says inability to grow up and be responsible. Extreme dependency on others for physical security. I don't want to beat you guys up too bad. Don't beat me up in the comments here, guys. But I do feel like there is a need for, you know, it's easy to point fingers at what others can do for us and why others aren't showing up. And this Divine Masculine, if what he did was offer me stability, offer me this Four of Wands, we'd be perfect. She is looking external from herself. And this is exactly what this card is talking about. Okay, a dependency on others, a need to go within, a need to find this happiness and this love external from this connection. Because she is this beautiful goddess here, okay? Light attribute, the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, sensuality. She has this within her. She's just sitting in this distorted energy, okay? And maybe because she's been pained. She has been pained potentially from this Divine Masculine, but she's been pained before, okay? And potentially at, you know, a young age. And this is how she's learned to cope. And she's learned to withhold love. She's learned to maybe not speak her mind until things blow up and then come out kind of cold, right? But there is this beautiful goddess energy, this empress energy. Okay, Saboteur, light attribute, highlights your fear of self-empowerment and changes it would bring to your life. This is talking again about self-empowerment, okay? So you definitely are able to work with what you have and heal what it is that you have. And know that you're the one that can bring your Four of Wands. Once you're able to bring in your own Nine of Cups, what makes you happy, finding love from within, allowing yourself to give the love that someone else is unable to provide to you when you're needing it, when you're hurting, okay? And allow yourself the time to hurt, okay? If you are feeling like you need to heal, allow yourself to heal, okay? But blaming others or waiting to be vindictive or to express yourself from a place of flurry is not really going to help heal the situation. What's going to help heal is really going within, really doing the shadow work, really being accountable. Okay, now this is reflected on your person because I feel like your person's way of coping with their child external here was, you know, dependency on others is they are certainly not letting go of whatever it is here that's not allowing them to have this Four of Wands, but they're dependent on this divine feminine for giving them this love and this caring, okay, them wanting this Two of Cups, them wanting that loving energy, okay, but they are also not able to take the risk involved because maybe this is how they deal with their shadow attributes of traumas, of stuff that they need to heal, right? Why are they so scared or so fearful of taking a risk and letting go of something that needs to maybe be re-examined here, okay? And they also have this God energy in them to be their own emperor, to stand in their own power, to give themselves empowerment. When she pulls away her love, okay, he doesn't need to go chasing her for his own love. He could find that within himself, okay? And he needs to lean on himself to empower himself here rather than getting beat up by someone. Again, this is just energetically beat up by someone verbally, mentally, because she's waiting to, express her distaste and how he's showed up or in his inability to take a risk here, okay, which is overloading the situation with a lot of energy. There's a lot of passion here already, okay? I feel like it's very overloaded with emotions and feelings. Okay, so he's coming up as this alchemist and the shadow attribute, misuse of power and knowledge that comes through spiritual practice. I feel like this one could certainly be talking about their inability, again, with this death. I think I'll pull a card here, actually, so we could get a little bit more of what it is that they are unable to let go of. And then one for the Fool here in reverse, because I feel like they are definitely a little bit too comfortable with what it is that they're getting out of this connection, or what they have received out of this connection, without taking the risk. Okay, this Temperance in reverse, this talks about needing to heal, needing to bring the right amount of, yeah, it's funny, we got the Alchemist. This talks about the right type of chemistry in order to, bring in the right balance. I feel like there is this need to heal a certain side of them that maybe they are unable to show up in a way that would allow for balance. A side of themselves are unable to show up in a way. Here's the Knight of Pentacles that talks about, being dedicated, persistent, determined, very slow. Maybe they feel like their dedication, their persistence here would probably be in question. Okay, and then we have the Magician showing up here for the Fool. I feel like the Fool talking about your person not taking a risk, the Magician talking about this law of attraction. I feel like, or I guess the Manifester bringing in and manifesting. I feel like your person definitely wants to manifest, but I think your person isn't doing the actions, because the Knight talks about practical action. Okay, something practical, like what are they actually doing? I don't know that your person knows how to actually take the first step here with this Pentacle, okay, because manifesting something's great. You can manifest and use the law of attraction, but you still need to take action, and this person is not taking action. Okay, this is all about action. I mean, it's slow as fuck, but still action. And here it's like inability to let go and heal, because I feel like there's an inability to know what sort of action, what sort of forward movement and drive they need to take here. Okay, so Teacher in the Light attribute, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. I feel like the Divine Masculine seems to be a little bit more level-headed when it comes to communication here, okay? But I feel like what the challenge is here is really the heart chakra we were talking about. I feel like the Divine Feminine, because we started off saying this heart chakra work, I feel like there needs to be some heart chakra work here and really reflecting, okay, with this Eight of Cups, going inwards, healing the heart, finding the love from within. And I feel like the Divine Masculine, I'm getting the feeling that he is a pretty good communicator here, but I feel like he is unable to pull in his manifestation because he is not quite sure how to take it off the ground here, okay? And I feel like maybe it is his inability to communicate this part of him out of fear that, because he is wise here, showing up as a teacher, as wisdom, knowledge, skill, having lots of skill, that he is not sure. Here we have, yeah, the Page of Pentacles showing up in his feelings. He wants to take that first step, okay? But I feel like he might not admit, or he might not know how to take that first step, okay? And in order for there to be this Four of Wands and this balance, there needs to be something grounded here, okay? But I feel like he's feeling like he really wants to take that first step, okay? And he's definitely in love here. Okay, so we got the Hermit with light attributes, seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life and serves personal creativity. I feel like definitely there is this feeling of, you know, him coming as the Hermit here, Alchemist here, and the Magician here. I feel like that is the thrust of this Divine Masculine. He's very much knows what it is that he wants. He is self-reflective. He's bringing in what he wants, but I feel like when it comes to manifesting, there's something here that is him needing to go a layer deeper and look at his heart chakra to see why is he unable to let go of something in order to move something forward, okay? And I feel like there is this clear shift here. If this Divine Feminine comes in energetically causing some sort of attack of energy towards this Divine Masculine, or if he feels like he is, I feel like he's going to pull his energy away and cause this whole cycle, okay, or shift again, because I have a feeling this isn't the first time this is cycled this way, and I feel like she's just had enough, and she's not wanting to put up with the cycle anymore, so she's going to tell him like it is, and I feel like he doesn't want to put up with this cycle, but when she comes in this way, it's going to perpetuate that cycle because he thinks he's correct, coming correct. He wants what's best for him. She wants what's best for her, but neither of them are kind of looking at what's best for the connection, which is her taking a look at her accountability, where she can give herself love, heal where she needs to before she shows up and potentially withholds love from him, okay, or blocks love from herself, most importantly, and where he is unable to be in this Four of Wands, he needs to be honest with the fact that he might not know how to bring that forward instead of keeping her kind of captive in this cycle, you know, because he's not sharing with her this information, but he doesn't want to let her go. So I feel like he's also, you know, he's not committing, he's not coming into union here with this Four of Wands, but then he's coming in when she's pulled away, promising whatever it is that he's promising, or coming in with emotions, or trying to say, let's have this give and take, but the give and take doesn't include what it is that she's been asking for, which is this Four of Wands. Okay, so then she shows up thinking he must want it since he's emotionally expressive, but he withholds here this Four of Wands. Okay, so that's going to leave her in a state of, again, having to go through this cycle, which she does not want to go through. Love. I feel like this is talking about this heart chakra and unconditional love. Because when you unconditionally love someone, you're not thinking about Nine of Cups. Okay, what do I want solely for me out of this person? You might have a Nine of Cups with yourself. Okay, what do I want for myself? Let me sort through this so when I show up for this connection, I'm unconditionally able to love this person. Okay, now I mean unconditional love doesn't mean unconditionally putting up with bullshit, but it doesn't mean I'm going to love them until I feel like they're withholding this Four of Wands, and then I'm going to come in as a mega bitch and, you know, let them have it. And it also doesn't mean I'm going to pretend or get her with my emotions, tell her I love her, or say I want to give and take, and then I get her, and then I'm not willing to have the conversation or look at my own closet as to why I can't have this Four of Wands, or at least be upfront in communicating that, right? So unconditional love here is highly emphasized. And then we have here abundance, more heart energy, definitely heart chakra. I love this card because I feel like there is this safety. I feel like there's a safety here that you guys need to find within each other, that I feel like the Divine Masculine has to understand that he is safe enough to make this step. He is safe enough to heal. He is safe enough to let go of whatever is holding him back from not allowing him this Four of Wands. And I feel like the Divine Feminine needs to know she is safe enough to go within, give herself love, you know, and feel secure and stable in that energy before kind of uniting or coming together. And then we have Moon Tree. Wow, another tree. Moon talks about emotions, fears. Yeah, there could definitely be a fear here of a loss of the connection. I feel like neither of you guys want to let go of one another, but I feel like there is a fear here of losing each other, but there is a greater need for healing in solitude. Okay, and that's why divine keeps, you know, these cycles. You guys pull apart and then you guys feel you're ready, but really, are you ready? Has there been really any work done? Or are you just ready because defenses are down? It's been a while and now you're going to repeat a cycle, you know, and are you ready to come in being completely honest about not wanting a Four of Wands, and why aren't you wanting it? Are you able to look at your fears as to what do you need to transform here? What do you need to heal that you're not healing in order to move forward in this area and be dedicated to this area? Okay, so there's definitely fears, but I feel like this this tree is bigger than the fear, or the tree is bigger than the moon or the fear here in this depiction. Okay, I feel like there is a solidness about this connection that will bring you guys together despite the fear that might be right smack dab in the middle that needs to be addressed. I feel like it needs to be addressed in order for there to be a smoother union between the two. Now, I didn't pull any of these. I almost forgot. I'll pull some animal oracle cards here for you guys. This should have been before the advice, but we'll see what you guys get. So Divine Feminine, we got the deer. And the Divine Masculine, we got the fox. Okay, so I do feel like this deer could talk about the defenses down, this kind of on pause feeling. She's waiting to take a look at how he shows up, because if he gives her any more of that cycle energy, she's going to turn into this, you know, this Queen of Swords upside down. But she's right now looks like a deer. So of course he's wanting this Two of Cups. He's wanting to come in like a King of Cups, give her love. She's looking like she's, you know, innocent and unassuming. And she might be if he comes absolutely correctly. But what she doesn't know is he doesn't know what absolutely correctly is. And this Queen of Swords is just going to resurface here, okay? But she's welcoming him as this deer. And he's looking like this deceptive fox, because he's saying all the right things here coming in. So she thinks he's wanting to cooperate until she sees that he's still not willing to let go of something here and heal something in order to have what it is that she's been asking for or wanting to work with, which is this stability, this Four of Wands, coming together, building a family, a future together. So he's looking like he tried to deceive her. Of course she's going to be Mother of Swords. She's going to be angry. She's going to feel deceived. She's going to feel like he's lied to her because he wanted to get her in his good graces, but he's still not willing to be honest, okay? And then he gets triggered and he pulls away his energy here and his opportunity for this Ten of Cups that I feel he wants. He wants the emotional fulfillment here with her, but I feel like he doesn't want the commitment or the effort in building the commitment, but he wants this Ten of Cups. But I feel like it's blocked, or he pulls away or puts an ending here if she comes in, you know, causing him any sort of stress. Okay, so Earth energy here with the fox, that's Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We have Gemini, and we have more Virgo here, and King of Cups, which is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And then we have Taurus energy here, and we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and some, yes, some Pisces energy, or Taurus. I don't know, one or the other. But I'm feeling like you guys definitely have work to do independently. Okay, and I think that's why this card was in the center here with this Nine of Cups, finding the true happiness that you can give yourself in order to stabilize yourselves, give yourself abundance, and then come together and see what could be built, which I feel could be quite beautiful and magical. All right, so love you guys so much. I hope this helped. Only take what resonates. If you don't feel it was for you, leave it behind. I'm only here to help communicate what it is I'm feeling and seeing from spirit. And my intent is always just to help. If there was any piece of information that helped, then I've done my job. And I love you guys very much. See you soon. Bye.